Good evening everyone and welcome back to the channel. Before I go on, I want to mention that in the video's description you can find a playlist of my previous characters analysis videos and a playlist of my tier list videos starting from January 2020. I'm sorry for the late upload of this video, but my mind was fried for the whole day. We had so many things to do in the game and personal life was not helping with it. So this analysis video is coming a bit later than the usual time. Today we're gonna be talking about Dark Knight Cecil and his EX realization that came earlier today at the Phoenix Cave event. I'm going to go over Cecil's strengths and weaknesses, as well as which artifacts you should be aiming for, and finally if he's worth investing and how much you should invest in him. If you guys are interested in watching a showcase with a 0 out of 3 EX Cecil, then let me know in the comment section down below, since that's how much I intend on investing in him, and that's not a very good showcase in my opinion. Before we begin, I want to remind you that these are just my opinions and you should always do some research on your own before deciding on things, and hopefully this video will help you on that. So let's get this analysis started. For this analysis, I'll be talking about the purple Cecil, since that is the peak of his power, so keep that in mind please. Dark Knight Cecil's moment in the spotlight was way back when in the first few months of the game, when co-op rewards were different and you had to accumulate a certain amount of score in order to get all the rewards, and triple Cecil launching back to back was the way to go back then. Unfortunately, Cecil was kinda forgotten after that system was changed, and he stayed in the shadows as a niche launch friend support unit if you wanted to burst a boss really fast in 5 turns. Since Cecil got his level 70 awakening, I've actually used him in quite a few chaos stages with success, but anyone who is not blind could see that this character had a lot of issues and his kit was just all over the place. Today came his EX realization, and honestly that does fix some of his problems, but he's still awkward to use, and I'll explain why, so stay tuned. Cecil wants to be below 50% HP at all times in order to have access to his Valiant Blow Plus and Darkness Plus, and he also has a Last Stand passive, which is better than other similar passive in the game, since he only needs to be at 20% of his maximum HP in order to avoid death and drop below to 1 HP. So ideally Cecil wants to be below 50% but above 20% HP in order to be both safe and at his full potential. Sounds complicated, right? Well, it is. He's incompatible with healer units, and especially those with strong HP regen buffs like Benello, Rosa, even Beatrix comes in mind as well, which makes it frustrating to build teams around him. But Cecil does have his good points. His Valiant Blow Plus is one of the strongest launches in the game with the right circumstances. I'm saying right circumstances because Cecil himself is a pretty slow unit and he only has a high turn rate on his Valiant Blow, which initiates the launch, meaning that sometimes that can mess up your turn order and result into a 2-unit launch instead of all 3 hitting the boss. Cecil offers a good AoE shaving option with his Darkness skill, which is similar to Beatrix Thunder Slash but unfortunately not as strong, and he now comes with more options to reduce his own HP in order to get his plus skills in the form of a new HP and Brave attack. Lastly, I want to focus on his EX skill, which now is much stronger and has some splash damage, and to top it all off, it also inflicts dark resist down on all enemies, which is very nice for Cecil's damage, but there's one problem. This is probably the slowest EX skill in the whole game, and even though it restores 1 use of each of Cecil's skills, it can barely keep up with you and you will unfortunately run out of skills eventually. I strongly believe that if Square Enix had tweaked his EX to be just a tiny bit faster, Cecil would have been a really amazing launcher unit. Recommended artifacts for Cecil are 108 attack and 330 max brave, with low HP attack up as a nice constellation prize. Now let's see if you should invest in Cecil. I know both Dark Knight Cecil and Paladin Cecil have lots of fans out there, and I'm pretty sure you have already maxed Cecil out if you are one of them. But if he is not a favorite character of yours and you are wondering if you should invest in him, then the short answer is no, don't do it. Cecil's EX Plus actually came 3 months earlier in the global version of the game, and this could have been an amazing thing for a different unit, but not Cecil. His problem of not seeing much gameplay in the JP version of the game was not the timing of his release, but his kit in general. If you are wondering why he came 3 months earlier, it's simple. He was a safe choice for Square Enix to bring out earlier, cause he wouldn't be anything game breaking, and I really do hope he sees more play this way, but Cecil's main role is a damage dealer unit. And like I say in almost every video, we have an abundance of amazing characters coming our way. My only hope is that he gets yet another rework when he gets his LD and burst weapons. Now, if you really want to invest on Cecil and you don't know how much you should, then stay with me and we'll find out together. It's time to see how much you should invest in Cecil if you decide to do so in order to get the most value out of your resources. Giving a book to Cecil increases his EX potency and its brave hits from 3 to 6, while also allowing it to deal 20% splash damage and apply Imperial oil on enemies. Pretty nice book upgrade if I say so myself. This is where you should stop if you decide to use Cecil on a lower dimensions and stage like I plan to do and then forget about the character for a few months. I'm just kidding. I'll still try to use Cecil in a single target fight where launching is the easiest to do. Now, on to the ingots. Investing 1 ingot in Cecil gives him the pretty usual by this point attack and max brave permanent boost, but this one is higher than your average stats. He gets a 50% max brave boost and a huge 80% attack boost. Honestly, just this alone will probably make him hit like a truck. But unfortunately, this is not worth just investing 1 ingot in him and stopping there if you plan on using him further in chaos stages. Giving 2 ingots to Cecil lets him start the stage with his 2 generic buffs, which is pretty basic, and also enables his EX to refresh both of his unique buffs back to 4 turns, whenever you cast it. This is probably the weak link of Cecil's upgrades, since he can get both of his buffs by casting both of his skills once, and I rarely found myself running out of Power of Darkness or Light Within Darkness buffs while playing Cecil in the past. Now, finally, we come to the important stuff, the 3 ingot investment, every damage dealer's dream. If you decide to take Cecil all the way, you can unlock his new HP Plus and Brave Plus variants called Power and Heal. Being able to damage himself without using skills with Power or heal himself up to 30% of his maximum HP with the Heal variants. His HP Power is a better self-damage than his Darkness skill, and it also has a 50% splash damage to boot. Pretty good upgrades, but we are not done yet. 3 ingots will also increase your EX potency tremendously and will now be a double cast, much like his Paladin version. Last and certainly not least, every time you use Cecil's EX, you are allowed 1 use of Darkness Plus or Valiant Plus, regardless of how much HP Cecil has at the time. This is the best investment for the character and it fixes quite a lot of his problems, but sadly is not a powerful fix. In conclusion, my personal recommendation for Dark Knight Cecil investments are a single book if you plan on not using him in further chaos stages, and 3 ingots if you want to use him as much as you can. And that was it for our Dark Knight. If you stuck with me until the end, I would like to thank you for all the support I'm getting these days, and I would like to know if you plan on investing in Cecil and how much. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you like what I do for more videos like this and chaos runs. Stay inside your houses, guys. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in my next video. See ya.